So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So this is a very important topic where we are going to discuss about China-Bangladesh deal on Mongla Port and Teesta River. It has been very much in the news in the last 1 or 2 days. So that is why it becomes very, very important. So we'll be talking about it. Then we will be talking about a Belt and Road Initiative also, because that is linked with that. And we will also discuss about China, Myanmar, Bangladesh corridor that has been proposed, etc. Okay, so let us start. I'm sure you must have seen these types of news coming in that China, Bangladesh in talks over Teesta River Project. China has harvested its major rivers for power generation, etc. So that is what the project is all about. China, Bangladesh joint statement, Mongla Port's implication for India decoded. So Mongla Port, there is a deal that has been done. This port is actually in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh has done deal with China in this regard. So we'll be talking about it, and whether it is a bad news for India or not, let us discuss. String of pearls, we will discuss about string of pearls. It is actually a part of Belt and Road Initiative only. String of pearls, Titans. How Bangladesh U-turn on Mongla Port hits India's Act East policy. So we'll be talking about these things. Now, before beginning this, let us talk a little bit about last 2 years, what happened in the Bangladesh. Because that is very important. We will discuss about Gen Z protests and the Bangladesh election, then the new prime minister who came to power. So we'll talk about this. So let us start with the Bangladesh Gen Z protest. Okay, so it happened actually what we call it as July uprising, July mass revolution. It was a Gen Z revolution or monsoon revolution. It started in July 2024 against Sheikh Hasina. She has been in power for many years, and she was actually from Awami League, political party called as Awami League. So a lot of massive protest happened against her because of corruption and many other allegations. And finally, she had to leave the country on 5th August 2024. And since then, she is actually living in India in exile. Okay. And after that, the moment actually she resigned, basically, we are having chief advisor, Mr. Muhammad Yunus. From 8th August, actually, he was appointed as chief advisor, and he remained as chief advisor of Bangladesh till 16 February 2026. So he was actually ruling the interim government before a new election could happen. Okay. Now, since we are talking about these things, let us talk about the two political parties in Bangladesh. There are many political parties, but two are very famous. The one is Awami League, founded by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Okay. Now, his daughter actually is actually Sheikh Hasina, and she was the prime minister in August 2024 when she had to run away, and she is right now in exile in India. Okay. Next is Bangladesh National Party. Now, Bangladesh National Party is another party founded by Ziaur Rahman. His wife was Khalida Zia, who died a few months back. Ziaur Rahman died many years back. Khalida Zia, actually, she died last year. And their son, actually, is Tarique Rahman, who has recently become the Prime Minister of Bangladesh in the February elections. February 2026 this year. Okay, and let us, you should know that Awami League is generally considered as pro-India historically. And Bangladesh National Party was not that much pro-India, comparatively, of course. Okay, so that's what you should be knowing. Now, so Sheikh Hasina is right now in India, living in exile, and Tarique Rahman is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Okay, so that's what you should be knowing about. Now, so what happened was we have seen in August 2024, we have seen Sheikh Hasina leaving the country, coming to India. So after that, what happened was Chief Advisor, Mr. Muhammad Yunus, was appointed as Chief Advisor on 8th August 2024. So from 8th August 2024 till February 2026, he was the Chief Advisor running the interim government. And after that, the elections were conducted in Bangladesh this year. You can see 12 February 2026, elections were conducted. And on 12 February, you can see Tarique Rahman from BNP won the election. He got 209 seats out of, right. So basically, elections happened for 300 seats. And you need to cross the half mark, means half is 150, so you need only 151 seats. And they have got 209 seats. Similarly, Shafiqur Rahman from Jamaat Party, 68 seats. Naeed Islam from NCP, 6 seats. Okay, so Tarique Rahman won it, and he became the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And yes, Sheikh Hasina's Awami League was not allowed to fight election because of course, there was she was banned. The party was banned and could not participate in the election, etc. So that is what you should be knowing. So there are other parties, but of course, when Awami League was not in the competition, then only BNP or Bangladesh National Party was the only one which could win good seats. Okay, that's what you should be knowing. And after that, actually, when the swearing in ceremony of Mr. Tarique Rahman happened, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla was sent to attend the swearing in ceremony. Okay. Similarly, a few days later, we have seen Bangladesh Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh. Mr. Dinesh Trivedi was appointed as India's High Commissioner to Bangladesh, and recently he has taken charge, you can see. And he's not a foreign service officer, because generally a foreign service officer is appointed as ambassador or a high commissioner. But actually in this case, he is actually a politician. He has served as railway minister of India, etc. also. And you should know who is a high commissioner. He is nothing but an ambassador sent by a Commonwealth countries to another Commonwealth countries. So if the member of Commonwealth nations exchange ambassadors, those ambassadors are actually called as high commissioners. That is what you should be knowing about. Now you can see what happened was, after Bangladesh Prime Minister was elected, he chose China as the first to visit. And of course, it is very important signal actually that they are choosing China over any other country. So there's a Mongla Port deal that has been done. And of course, which is actually bad news for India, because initially there was a proposal that India would get this port, but now they have given it to the China, or let's say they have invited China to jointly develop this port. Okay, let us move on. Now, before understanding the concept of this, let us understand Belt and Road Initiative and String of Pearls, which is actually a part of Belt and Road Initiative of China. So both are the initiative of China. Belt and Road Initiative, an initiative of 2013, started in 2013 to revive the old Silk Route, and now it is called as New Silk Road, One Belt, One Road Initiative, or Belt and Road Initiative. It's having more than 150 countries in that. Yes, they are having 6 urban land corridors like road, rail, energy, digital infrastructure, maritime Silk Route. Maritime means in the Navy, in the water body. They are actually, the China is developing a lot of ports and connecting it with the maritime Silk Route. So you can see these are some of the roads, right? China to Mongolia, right? From China to Mongolia, China to Europe, they are moving. They're going to West Asia, Central Asia region. Then of course, this one is highly controversial, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. We will talk about it because we have seen questions in this regard also, right? In China, Indo-China Peninsula, etc. So we'll talk about CPEC in detail. And actually, this is called as Silk Road. Basically, we had Silk Road in the past, similar to that. In the 1st century AD, almost 2000, more than 1000 years back. So here is actually somewhere here you'll find Beijing, etc. and all those cities. So these Chinese cities used to be connected with Central Asia. This is Central Asia and Europe and West Asia and Europe also. Right? You can see. This is Central Asia. This is West Asia. Okay. So these are the places. And through that red one, like they used to connect it with the India also and other countries. But this green one was the main Silk Route. So that actually they are trying to copy it this time also again in the modern day era. They are trying to connect it with Central Asia, West Asia, even with Pakistan, in Europe and all those through roads, railways, pipelines, gas pipelines and maritime Silk Route, through naval routes also. Okay, so Chinese Communist Party General Secretary Xi Jinping originally announced this strategy in 2013. He is right now also the president of China. That is what you should be knowing about. Okay. Is India part of Belt and Road Initiative? No. And the reason is CPEC. I've told you also, this is a part of Belt and Road Initiative where actually India's sovereignty is violated. So basically, this is actually POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, or Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. This is illegally occupied by Pakistan. I'm sure you must be aware of this. So basically, this Belt and Road Initiative of this part, here is somewhere Gwadar you will find. And this is Kashgar of China. So actually it does not go, this is an airplane route, but actually it goes like this. Okay. Now this is called as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. It is a part of Belt and Road Initiative of China. Now why it is problematic? Because it is actually a gas pipeline and other routes, etc. This is problematic because this passes through POK. This is actually India's part legally, but it has been captured by Pakistan. So that's why India has protested that this is violation of our sovereignty. Without our permission, you cannot make this. And that's why India has said no to Belt and Road Initiative. And to counter this Gwadar port, this port is being developed by China. India has actually decided to develop Chabahar port here in Iran. But unfortunately, we have seen in recent years a lot of pressure from America, and we have to actually, for all practical purpose, we have to withdraw. Or there is a very less likely that we will continue. So these reports were coming in. Let us see what will happen. But that is what it is. And wow, so for example, from Mumbai, we can go to Chabahar. From where there we can go to Afghanistan and other Central Asian countries. So for that, we had actually developed this Chabahar port to counter the Gwadar port. So this is what we have discussed about CPEC. So basically this one, which is made by the map, this is an air route, but actually the main CPEC route was something like this, which was passing through Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That's why India has strongly protested against this. This is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Okay. And this Belt and Road Initiative is a $62 billion project, etc. And yes, we have protested against this CPEC because we have said that it goes against our territorial integrity. And yes, and there were some reports coming in that they will extend this to Afghanistan also. God knows better whether it will be implemented or not. So they will actually extend it with Afghanistan. That was the proposal. Okay, so and yes, India had actually criticized those, and these things were coming in the news. Now, we have also seen that China uses dead trap diplomacy. This word is used a lot. That China plans to develop a port, by giving the loan to a country, and the loan is very heavy. They are not able to handle it, and after that, China takes that port. For example, I'm sure you must have heard about Hambantota port. We will discuss it. So Sri Lanka had taken huge amount of loan from China. They were not able to pay back. So this port was actually leased to China for 99 years. So we'll talk about it. Let's say this is the Sri Lanka, and the southern port somewhere here you will find this Hambantota port. So there are case where they are saying, in fact, in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor also it was said that maybe Pakistan will not be able to return back the loan, etc. It is a very heavy, costly project for them, and maybe they will have to, of course, give their port, etc., like Hambantota, etc. And it is in how many countries? Belt and Road Initiative, almost in 150 countries, but India has decided not to be a part of that. Okay, yes. Now, Maritime Silk Route, I have told you, like we have Silk Route, similarly we have Maritime Silk Route. Maritime means in the water body, in the oceans and the navy and the seas, and are used by navy. Okay, so we had seen even in the earlier days, I have told you, like in ancient era, there was something like that. So China used to connect with the rest of the world through Maritime Silk Route. Similarly, even in this year, this century, they are actually making this 21st century Maritime Silk Route. That is this year and this century. So basically, like China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a part of String of Pearls. What is String of Pearls? This is actually an initiative of China in the Indian Ocean region to control all those choke points. Yes. So let us talk about it. So for example, they have got Gwadar port here. They have got this Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. Hambantota. Similarly, they have got this Kayakpu port in Myanmar. Similarly, here is Mongla Port, which we have just discussed. Similarly, in Cambodia, they are trying to have a military base in Riam port. That was also very much in the news. Similarly, this is Djibouti, very important. It's a first military port of China outside India, Djibouti. Djibouti. And this is very important because this is Bab al-Mandab, very important location. So this strategy of China actually to control the Indian Ocean by actually having deal with those ports. This is part of String of Pearls. And a String of Pearls is actually a part of Belt and Road Initiative. Okay. So that is what you should know. So perhaps this Mongla Port deal, which has been recently done, is also a part of the same String of Pearls. Okay. We have done about it, Kayakpu and all. And a Gwadar Port, Hambantota, Colombo, Chittagong Port, it's a Kayakpu Port, Djibouti Port. We have done these ports. Okay. To counter that, India has necklace of diamond strategy, but of course, China is way ahead right now. India has planned something like this. Assumption Island, Seychelles. PM Modi recently visited Seychelles Island. I'm sure you must be aware. So India had tried for Assumption Island, but I think we are not sure whether we have got it or not. But actually, we were trying earlier. Chabahar Port, we had done the deal, but recent years we have seen pressure from America, then from Mongolia, then Japan, like that, Vietnam, and like that. This is India's proposed necklace of diamond strategy to counter China's String of Pearls. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. But of course, to be very honest, China is very ahead in this, and we have to actually fasten this to counter it. That is what the idea is. So we have discussed military Djibouti. I've told you, had first military port outside China, mainland China, is Djibouti. Another one I've told you is Riam Port. They are establishing in this is Cambodia actually. Somewhere here is Riam Port. Think of course, these things we have discussed. And yes, in recent years, we have seen a deal with Solomon Island in August 2022. So here is Solomon Island in Pacific Ocean. They are even going in this region also. And recently we have seen, last year we have seen Cook Island, deal with Cook Island. China is doing this deal in Pacific Ocean region. Okay, so these are some of the things that are actually in the news. So basically, China is expanding the Belt and Road Initiative and string of pearls, which is actually a part of it. So it is said that the recent Mongla Port deal is actually a part of a string of pearls strategy. Now, let us talk about recent China-Bangladesh deal. So recently, Mr. Tarique Rahman, who was elected as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, he decided to go to China. So here actually they have done these types of deals: 17 bilateral instrument deal, 13 memorandum of understanding, 2 agreement, 1 action plan, 1 protocol from 24 to 26 June. So trade and investment cooperation, China investment in Bangladesh, cooperation on major initiative, development of Mongla Port and Teesta River Comprehensive Management and Restoration Project. These two are very important. So let us first talk about Teesta River Comprehensive Management and Restoration Project. So I'm sure you must be aware, we have a river which starts actually from Sikkim, North Sikkim, and it goes to Bangladesh and it meets actually the Brahmaputra River in Bangladesh. Okay, that's called as Teesta River. So basically, let me make the clear map. So this is actually Yarlang Sangpo. Also known as in Assam it is called as Brahmaputra River. And then it goes to Bangladesh. There, Bangladesh, they are called as Jamuna. It is not Yamuna, Jamuna sometimes. When it meets Ganga, after that they are called as Jamuna, etc. Fine. So we are not going in that detail. There's a Teesta River which starts from Sikkim, North Sikkim, goes like this and meets in Bangladesh. This is Teesta River. Okay. So Teesta River, I'm sure, starts in Sikkim. So goes to these districts, flows through Mangan, Gangtok, Pakyong, Kalimpong, Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri, Cooch Behar. So these are the places. And in actually Bangladesh, these districts, etc. So China, Bangladesh in talks over Teesta project. So basically, Bangladesh Prime Minister Tarique Rahman has received assurance from China on building Teesta River Comprehensive Management and Restoration Project. Okay. China has harvested its major rivers. So basically, this will be used for irrigation purpose and all. Actually, what is China's proposal? Bangladesh has been in talks with China with regards to Teesta River region for nearly a decade, right? Interim government led by Professor Mohammad Yunus, they also had talked about it. Power China signing an extension agreement that revived the Bangladesh-China cooperation on river. Even Sheikh Hasina, who was actually considered as slightly pro-India, had also done an agreement. So that is what you should be knowing. Teesta River is essential for farmers in northern Bangladesh, covering districts like these districts. Bangladesh main complaint is that Teesta River reduces to a trickle in the winter months in December and February. So Bangladesh has criticized, actually had a complaint for against India that a lot of water is being used in this region. And that's why they get lesser water, especially in December, January, February. In Sikkim and like those regions, New Jalpaiguri district, those regions, Siliguri, New Jalpaiguri. So a lot of water is used for irrigation purpose and we are left with less water in the northern Bangladesh for irrigation and other reasons. Whenever India holds water for its need at Gajal Dopa or in power generation units in Sikkim, Bangladesh claims that the part of Teesta on its river goes slow. So they have complained this. In fact, there was an attempt to do some sort of agreement also. India has built barrages and electricity project in the Teesta, upstream in the Teesta for requirement in West Bengal, Sikkim and Assam region. The most important barrage is Gajal Doba. Barrage is very similar to a dam actually. So these are the things being talked about. Teesta originates from North Sikkim at Solamu Lake or Cholamu Lake it is called. Okay, it's a very beautiful lake. Okay, so that is what you should know. And then it goes to Bangladesh. So it goes to Sikkim, then it goes to Bengal. This is the Bengal region. I'm sure you must be aware. Okay. This region is Bengal. Here you will find Siliguri, New Jalpaiguri district, etc., Darjeeling, etc., and here is Sikkim. So from Sikkim it goes to West Bengal and then goes to Bangladesh. What are India's concern on Bangladesh going to China for Teesta? So basically, again, the chicken neck. Yes, this is very important. The power China. This is they will actually have a lot of engineers coming in the northern region, Nilpari, Rangpur region, which is near Jalpaiguri of India, and it is actually chicken neck corridor. So let us talk about it. This region. Now you see it here. So this is actually, this one is Brahmaputra river coming, right? Very famous. And from here, let me make it with blue pen. Somewhere roughly like this is actually the Teesta River, which I have made with blue pen. Now, the problem is actually why India is concerned, because in this region, in the northern region of Bangladesh, the power China officials will come and they will help develop the project, etc., whatever it is. Now, just north to it, this region is what we call it as India's chicken neck corridor, or what we call it as the Siliguri Corridor. Now, this is very important because, of course, it is strategically very important and it is a very small portion. So there were fears that, of course, they will gather some information, etc. and all, which is actually a good news, not a good news for us. That's why, you know, this is strategic, and a power China has worked in the strategic sectors also. And of course, near to it, we are having this chicken neck corridor, which is actually strategically very important. It's a very small place to connect with the northeast, very small territory region. So that's why, of course, we have to protect it, and that is what the idea is. Okay, the next is artificial intelligence project is also being done. Then green technology, healthcare, education. These are the agreements between China and Bangladesh. Now, one more thing, China, Myanmar, Bangladesh economic corridor is also proposed. So basically, India loses key Bangladesh port project. We have discussed about it. That actually what we are talking about, Mongla Port. So here is Mongla Port, which there was a time that perhaps India would get. There was the time when there were talks with regards to it. And it is Chattogram or a Chittagong port, very famous port of Bangladesh. But this one actually, Mongla Port, China and Bangladesh has done a deal. So this is second largest and second busiest seaport after Chittagong port, 188 kilometers from Kolkata. So here is Kolkata. Somewhere here you will find Kolkata. So 188 kilometers. So this is Mongla Port. So hardly 188 kilometers away. Okay, that is what you should be knowing about. Now, it is announcement what. So the two sides agreed to join Mongla Port facility. So they both will develop. The China and Bangladesh will together develop this. Earlier there was proposal that India would be developing it. However, it was cancelled when Mohammad Yunus was the interim advisor, etc. And even Teesta River Comprehensive Management Restoration Project is being done by China, and which is actually very near to India's Siliguri or chicken neck corridor. That is why India, it is a concern for us. And of course, they are actually developing some projects even in Chittagong also. Now, we are talking about China, Myanmar, Bangladesh economic corridor. So this will connect which region? Kunming is a place in China. Mandalay, this is Mandalay. This is a place in Myanmar. Then this is Kayakpu port in Myanmar again. And then from there, it will connect Chattogram and then Dhaka. Okay. This blue line actually is made by the Google map. So you're not supposed to know, but just you should remember. This is China. This is Myanmar. This is Bangladesh, right? So China, Myanmar, Bangladesh project. So they will actually bypass India. They will not go through India. So that is what actually it says. Kunming, Mandalay, Yangon, and Kayakpur, Chattogram, and Dhaka. Why we are talking about it? Because there was BCIM project also. Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar economic project also, where actually India was also supposed to be included. Kunming, Mandalay, Dhaka, Kolkata. So it was actually, let me make it here if there is any clear map. Okay. So it's not showing here. Let me show here also only. It was supposed to connect Kunming, Mandalay, Dhaka, here is Dhaka, to Kolkata. That was the project. That project was called as Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar project. But it was proposed India now recently. We have seen Bangladesh, China, Myanmar project only. They have dropped India. They are not talking about it in the recent ones. So basically, it will be Kunming, Mandalay in Myanmar, Kayakpu, and then from there Chattogram and then Dhaka. So perhaps they will go something like this, which I'm making with red pen, something like that. Okay, this is Bangladesh, China, Myanmar corridor. Because these things are in the news, that's why I'm highlighting it. यहीं से question आता है. Belt and Road Initiative, Kayakpu Port Mandala is a city in Myanmar. This is Myanmar, this is Kayakpu, है ना? So this one is actually Myanmar. This is actually Myanmar. I'm sure you must be aware of it. It is earlier called as Burma. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed the session. You have learned a lot. So this is all about today's class. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.